Four Swords features gameplay similar to A Link to the Past, with a focus on multiplayer. In it, 2 to 4 players must cooperatively work through a series of puzzle-laden dungeons, while competing to collect rupees. The player with the most rupees at the end of a level wins a special prize, though all rupees are shared together in the long run. All players are given respective colors. Player 1 is green, Player 2 is red, Player 3 is blue, and Player 4 is purple. Once all players are connected, Player 1 chooses one of the 4 stages available to play on. All dungeons are randomized before play. The dungeons have 3 levels to them, with a portal at the end of each level. The first to reach it will be rewarded with a heart container, an item that increases the player's health meter. The third level is not a traditional dungeon, but rather a boss battle. Once defeated, they will return to the hub area. Unlike in A Link to the Past, where Link has an inventory of items he has collected, 4 Swords only allows a player to have 1 item at any given time, switching them out at item pedestals. An original item called the Nat Hat appears, causing Link to shrink and be able to access areas he could not normally reach. This idea was expanded on in the form of a talking hat named Eslo in a later game, The Legend of Zelda, the Minish Cap. Creating a file for the Game Boy Advance game will give players a profile in both A Link to the Past and Four Swords. Some features are linked between the 2 games. For example, when players learn a new sword move, it is transferred between games. When both games are completed, players may access a dungeon called Palace of the Four Sword in A Link to the Past. Nintendo World Report's Max Lake called the announcement of a multiplayer mode exciting. In IGN Best of E3 awards for the Game Boy Advance, they named it the runner-up to Best of Show below Metroid Fusion, calling it a close one, but ultimately gave the award to Fusion due to it not being a remake. They described the multiplayer component as resembling Diablo or Gauntlet. They gave it the award for biggest surprise, citing its multiplayer mode, calling it a brilliant addition and well worth the price of 4 Legend of Zelda cartridges. IGN Craig Harris, in his preview of the game, called the port of A Link to the Past faithful, although he noted that the controls would have to be modified due to the GBA's lack of 2 buttons that were both used in the Super NES version. He found the new controls to be adequate and praised the visuals for holding up well. IGN reported that based on their then new wishlist tool, A Link to the Past and Four Swords was consistently the second most anticipated Game Boy Advance game for the 5 weeks before its release.